Dwarf Car, a main feature event, 30 laps the distance, 24 car starting field. On the pole, the 11T, Paul White out of Waco, and the 16 of John Roan on the outside out of Kennedale. Row number 2, the 17, Chance Hull out of Burleson. 22C, Coy Moore out of Leander. Row number 3, the 63D, Dalton Hatton out of Craig, Colorado. The 12, John Foster out of Glendale, Arizona. Row number 4, the 44M, Keith White out of Academy. The 41T, Dustin Rood out of Danbury. Row number 5, the 27P, Jeff Patterson out of Carrollton. 72T, Landon Sibrey out of New Braunfels. Row number 6, 25, Dylan Budnick out of Bernie. The 73X of Wyatt Richardson out of Granbury. Row number 7, it's the number 20 ride of Ryan Stoy out of Leander, and the O of Chris Okoa out of Salado. Row number 8, the 21, Ricky Smith out of Terrell. The 1K, Keegan Moore out of Leander. Row number 9, the 33C, Ed Griggs out of Pleasant Hill, Missouri. The 44A, Tyler Rodriguez out of Phoenix, Arizona. Row number 10, the 282, Yuri Tolchin out of Granbury. The 42P, Blake Patterson out of Louisville. Row number 11, the 555, Ride By and Benedict. The 19, Jason Bellows. Row number 12, final row, the 81X of Dusty Jager out of Peoria, Arizona. And the 35, Tony D. George out of Titusville, Florida. 24 of your Pro Dwarf cars ready to take the green flag here in this 30-lap A main feature event. All right. Paul White starting on the pole, and he's ready to get this one underway. Him and John Roan are on the gas. Paul White going to lead him off into turn number 1. Roan going to make a move on the outside, but he gets a little bit loose going out of turn number 2. They're 3 wide in a battle for second. Paul White door-to-door in a battle with John Roan. They come out of turn number 4. It's going to be Paul White leading him on lap number 1. John Roan in second. Caution on the speedway. Looked like the 25 machine had spun over there in turn number 1 and 2, Dylan Budnick. And he got it fired back up and back underway, but not before the caution came out. So we will rack them, stack them, try it one more time. Looks like no laps complete. At the back of the pack, everybody else fall into their position, and we'll get this one back underway. Paul White was going at it tooth and toenail there with the 16 of John Roan. That was a pretty good battle for the lead, and a good battle also between the 17 of Chance Hull and the 22 of Coy Moore. So really fast cars up front there. Keith White, always a cool hand Luke when it comes to racing. We'll see what he does. Got a pretty good starting position really for a driver. A lot of times they don't like to start on the pole. They like to start back a row or two so they can size up the competition. And Keith White's really sitting in a good position to do that, so keep your eye on him. Jeff Patterson, we call him El Jefe, another one to keep your eye on. He's back there right behind Keith White. And looks like we're ready to get this one back underway. John Roan goes high, loses a little bit of ground. Here comes the 22 of Coy Moore. He goes on the inside of Chance Hull. 16 of Roan on the high side. Hull was the cream in that Oreo cookie for just a minute. Looks like they got that sorted out now. Now the 22 of Coy Moore trying to work to the inside of the 11T of Paul White. 17 of Chance Hull in third. Roan falls back to fourth. Oh, no. Looks like problems for Roan as he pulls that number 16 to the infield. Chance Hull all over the bumper, that number 22 of Coy Moore. The 12 machine of John Foster in the fourth spot now, being challenged by that number 63, it looks like, of Dalton Hatton. Well, Haddon being challenged now by the 41 of Dustin Rude. Oh, and the 22 of Coy Moore slips by on the inside of your leader, Paul White, for the lead. Paul White falls to second. In third is that 17 Machine of Chance Hull. Still a good battle back there between the 12 and the 41. Looks like the 41 is going to get the advantage coming through 3 and 4 and put him in the 4th spot. 12 falls to 5th. El Jefe in the 6th spot. All right, that number 22 of Coy Moore starting to pull away from Paul White now as these laps continue to tick off. And he is opening up quite a bit of a lead over that number 11T of Paul White. Paul working low through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, trying to hold off that number 17 of Chance Hull. Oh, looks like he might have a little more speed than White if he could get that preferred line. However, Hull's now going to have to start dealing with that 41 machine of Dustin Rude. Dustin Rude all over the back of that 17. Rude going to take a look to the outside. Oh, Chance Hull. I think they got together. I think just a little slight touch going through turn number 2, and Hull spins to the infield, and that's going to bring out a caution. Looked like the 0 machine of Chris Okoa out of Salado is done for the night as he pulls it down to the infield. Well, Coy Moore looks like he has got that number 22C ride dialed in for the flight here tonight. And a good-looking number 22C car is really, really doing a good job. Got by Paul White, just slipped by him on the inside going through 3 and 4 and snatched that lead away from him. We'll see if he is able to recover that lead as we continue on here. Paul White so far able to hold off all challengers in that 2nd spot, but he's got some pretty tough customers. That number 12 machine, John Foster out of Glendale, Arizona, started back there in the 3rd row on the outside in 6th position, has worked his way forward 3 spots. You find him in the 3rd spot now. And then I don't know, between the 27P of Jeff Patterson, El Jefe, and the 73X machine of Wyatt Richardson. Richardson started all the way back in the 12th spot and has worked his way forward to it looks like about 5th now, so he has done a really good job coming forward. So the cream's starting to rise to the top here in the early goings. Look like we got 8 laps in the book and 22 laps to go for this 30-lap A-Main feature event. And the lights are flashing over there on the back stretch as that Hunter's Moon rises up over the turn number 3. And we're going to go racing. Coy Moore, Paul White on the gas. Here we go. Once again, Coy gets a good run through the bottom of 1 and 2. Paul White holding off that number 12 machine of John Foster so far. Here comes that 73. That 73 of Wyatt Richardson out of Granbury. Started all the way back in 12th and has worked his way up to 4th now, putting the pressure on Paul White, who is falling back to 3rd after that 12 machine of Foster gets by. Foster now setting his sights on your leader. Coy Moore being trailed right close by that number 12 of Foster as they make their way down the back stretch. They roll through 3 and 4, come out down the front stretch. Now Coy able to open up just a little bit of distance between himself and that 12 machine of Foster. But here comes that 73X machine of Wyatt Richardson. On a march up from that 12th spot, Paul White looks like he continues to fall back in the 5th spot now, as El Jefe has got by him and going to try to get up there and chase down Richardson. All right. Foster right on the bumper of Coy Moore as the caution comes out. Got two cars, I believe, spun over here to the infield in turn number 4. Looks like one of those might be the 33C of, what is his name? Let's see. Ed Griggs out of Pleasant Hill, Missouri, maybe? 41T Dustin Rude, the other one. So that's unfortunate for Dustin, as he was running up in the top 5, I do believe. Thank you, Tony, for cluing me in on that. And I believe the 33C is going to take it back to the pits, call it a night here at Heart of Texas Speedway. Dylan Rude started 4th row on the outside. That would be the 8th position. And looked like his luck bucket got kicked over and he has just run out of luck. We'll see if he goes back to the pit or tries to get back on. I'm going to guess to the pit because he's up on the hook. Great footage tonight from our zone operator, Matt, our drone operator, Matt. He is really doing a great job and showing us some great shots with that drone. I tell you what, I admire somebody that can do that. All right, so we get this one back underway. It's still going to be Coy Moore out of Leander, Texas, leading us around. And I believe the number 12 machine of John Foster in that second spot. With that 73 of Wyatt Richardson making his way up through the field. Started 12th up to 3rd now. We'll see how things go with him starting on the outside of Foster. Foster pretty strong, but that looks like that low line might be a little dominant right now, as top line looks like it might be starting to go away just a little bit. But we're going to find out when we get this one back underway. 18 out of 24 cars left in the field. And here we go. Green flag's in the air, and we are back to racing. All right, that number 12 of Foster able to hold off that 73X as they go down the backstretch. However, Richardson gets a good run through turns 3 and 4 and takes that second spot. Good battle there between Paul White and El Jefe, Jeff Patterson. They're in a battle back there for 4th. Now Paul White, man, he's making that high groove work for that 11T ride. Going to try to work to the outside of Foster. Oh, no. We got 2 of them spinning over here to a stop in turn number 4. Looks like both cars going to be able to get back underway. Chance Hull, one of those cars, looked like he was trying to voice his displeasure with the proceedings over there. Oh, 63 retaliating with a big old bump to the rump there. Dalton Hatton out of Craig, Colorado, and Chance Hull out of Burleson, Texas, having a little disagreement out there on the front stretch. Well, tempers are short here tonight. Tempers are definitely short. Once again, this is the A main feature event for your Pro Dwarf cars. They are racing for $5,000 to win, I do believe. So, a lot of money at stake here. This one brought to you by CLK Graphics. CLK Graphics, your title sponsor for the Dwarf Cars, 7th Annual Dwarf Car National this weekend. All right, well, where's Paul White hanging? He's back in the 4th spot now. His brother Keith is like 7th back there. So they're just kind of hanging out, taking it easy. Maybe 8th. I'm not sure which one of those cars is Keith, but Keith is cagey enough to kind of save his stuff for later on. We'll see if that's what he's doing, or yeah, he's in the 7th spot. .30 weekend here at Heart of Texas Speedway. It is the 25th annual Fall Classic, and you don't want to miss that. Lots of action here next weekend. Friday night, the qualifiers will be ran. And then stock cars. Junior Limiteds will run for 5. Once again, the gang will all be back. It's really done an out. Got some, like they got some fluid laid down that they're a little bit concerned about, so putting some dirt on that, try to soak that up. Once we're able to get that handled, then we'll be back underway. The lead here in a little bit. Jeff Patterson in the 27P. He started back in the 9th starting spot and has worked his way up to 4th, so he has come forward a little bit. All right, our flagman tell them to line up 2 by 2 behind your leader, which would be the 22 of Coy Moore. Going to be one more lap. All right, Coy Moore leads him off down the backstretch. He's got that number 12 machine of John Foster in the 2nd spot. And actually in the 3rd spot, he 73 of Richardson in the 2nd spot. But now on the start, Foster got the jump on Richardson, and he takes that 2nd spot, and he leaves Richardson to battle with the 27P of OL Jefe. That is Jeff Patterson, who gets by him on the inside going through 3 and 4. So put Jeff Patterson in the 3rd spot now. The 72 machine of Landon Sibrey up to the 4th spot now. Oh, and we got one doing a 360 over in the top of turn 3, but he does a 360 and keeps it rolling. That's a 282, so no harm, no foul there. It's still Coy Moore out front. Foster in 2nd. Oh, no, and Patterson does a 360 over there in turn number 2. Now, he keeps it rolling, but, man, he loses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots in the process. Coy Moore with a comfortable lead now over the number 12 machine of John Foster. He's about 3 car lengths ahead of Foster as they roll out of 4. Oh, and the number 73 went up on 2 wheels briefly over there going into turn number 4, and he had to shut it down and get it back down on all 4 wheels, but he did that as the caution comes out. Caution comes out here on lap 20. Looks like it might be debris over there in turn number 4. Well, Richardson must have had some mechanical issues because he was marching toward the front, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. And I'm assuming he went off the track, and I wasn't able to see it, but goodness, that is unfortunate for Wyatt Richardson, who had done such a fantastic job coming up from that 12th place starting spot. Thought he was going to be a real contender for the win. Now we're looking at the 12 of John Foster and the 72 of Landon Sibrey sitting there in that 2nd spot, 2nd row. Paul White hanging tough up there. He started on the pole, but Still hanging tough in that 4th spot. Here comes that number 20, and that's Ryan Stoy out of Leander. He started 13th in the field. Started to march his way forward. All right, we'll see if our flagman gives on the one to go this time by. Yes, he does. 1 to go this time by. Foster would like to snatch that away from him, as well as Landon Sibrey. We'll see if they can pull it off. We'll get this one back underway. Started with 24 cars. Down to 13. Half the field gone as we get back underway. A lot of sparks coming out from underneath that 555 ride. I believe that's, Brian Benedict. A lot of sparks coming out from underneath that car. Something definitely not right. Coy Moore out front, holding off of hard charging field there. Whoa, the 81 and the 44 White just go right by that 27P of Patterson. Checkered flag. Wow. Checkered flag on lap 22. I don't even know. Showing Coy Moore to be the winner. But I don't know. That caught me off guard. I didn't expect that. I guess they shortened it and caught us off guard. All right, so Coy Moore. Don't even see him out there right now. Don't know where he went. There he is, just coming off the scales. He'll make his way around here. Coy Moore out of Leander, Texas, taking home the $5,000 check here tonight at Heart of Texas Speedway. CLK Graphics, the title sponsor for the event here tonight for the dwarf cars. And as he makes his way out, y'all give him a big round of applause. That is Coy Moore out of Leander, Texas. There he is, folks. Your winner. Going to take quite a wad of cash back home to Leander. Stacy Kohler, Southern Sass Photography on task down there, taking those victory lane photos, memorializing these wins here for the drivers tonight. Now 600 restrictor A class coming up next. Man, that is one very, very nice trophy.